Welcome to this episode of Twin Peaks. I got it playing in the background here. I'm going to turn it down while I give this intro. This episode is called RIP, Rest in Pain. And we'd like to thank everybody for sticking with us on this escapade of watching all these Twin Peaks episodes. We want to thank everybody and comment your favorite parts, comment topics. We're hoping to discuss the everything around Twin Peaks and trivia.
Waterfall.
You're green
Orange.
and brown. Guys, it's the Red River. Look, it's the Red River.
Rory.
Mark Frost.
Boys.
David Lynch.
Spooks.
Eric DeRay.
Eric DeRay.
Can we get a little more volume from this, please?
Here he goes.
I was just gonna quick say, look forward to all upcoming episodes. So if you want to keep notified, just click that bell, give this a like, and definitely comment what your favorite topic was, or what we missed something. Put those trivia bits down in the comments because we'll respond to them in future videos. So
Memorable moments from episodes in the comments, please. That's another, like, the shot that they had earlier that they called out, that you called out, the like darkness with just a stoplight or a lonely scene of an intersection.
Yeah, very moody scene.
It's like when they had that in this episode too, was a shot of just branches blowing in the wind and the sound of wind. It's that stuff that helps set atmosphere.
Yeah, and I don't remember when that happened, but it was like I caught that too. It was like right before they go to the it's like right here, right when they leave to go to the funeral. You just see the trees blowing for
it's
a
like,
good while.
Maybe it's like 5 to 10 seconds long, maybe. And it's just, I don't even think there's score, but it's just, and they do it a lot, is shots of trees a blowing and wind. They do it a lot in The Return too.
I like those interstitial kind of shots that don't need to have explanation, but just like give you a sense of like, this is what the day is like on her funeral. Like, it's just a breezy day.
Well, and
you can tell just from that. It's like it's gonna be cold, maybe. There's uncertainty. There's just wind blowing. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like, Leland just pops down. It's just a weird scene.
Yeah, everybody's like kind of they're not bundled up like it's like winter or anything, but they're definitely, observing a little bit of cold. Hold on, I gotta recollect my thoughts. My prompt just popped up on my computer. I didn't expect.
This was episode 4, Rest in Pain, which is alluding to R.I.P. basically. So it is like the the funeral episode.
Yeah. So the branches blowing in the trees thing. One more thing about that is like way later on, once we get to the end of season 2, there's a specific song that is played that carries a lot of connotation of stuff that we've seen and thematic kind of stuff throughout the show. And it just, every time that you see it then previously, you're like, oh yeah. It's like when they say like the owls are not what they seem, or like there's a darkness in the woods. So every time you go out in the woods, or every time you see an owl in the show, you're like, ooh, spooky.
Yeah, that's true. No, I've noticed that too. And yeah, isn't there something with hawk and owls too? Maybe I'm thinking of the return, but there's something with him like a distant relative of his. I don't know where I'm thinking of this, but there was an owl motif in the return also.
Yeah. Well, so in this, and I think they, I mean, I can't recall like in how many of the seasons or whatever they might say it in, but it's something that's said in the show. It will come up. I think the log lady says it first. She says the owls are not what they seem, and it's recurring imagery, but it and this is again, this is not like an explanation. This is just from what I understand or kind of my interpretation. Also, maybe owls are like um, vehicles kind of for spirits of the lodge in a way where they can like um, peek through the eyes of owls to see what's going on in the mortal world, or maybe like catch a ride and go fly this owl to somewhere and go watch somebody. So maybe Bob or like spirit lodge spirits are watching people through the owls in the forests of Twin Peaks. And
I got it. Okay.
yeah, there's one specific shot in an episode. It's the last thing in the episode right before the credits come up, where an owl like is kind of in the like medium background, like between background and foreground, and it swoops down towards the camera, and it like flashes negative for a moment and then freeze frames on the owl. And it's definitely supposed to be like, hey, we're telling you something here.
Yep. Because I think there might be misdirection too in some cases, that the showrunners wanted to maybe mislead you, because there are shots that are reoccurring, but then there are some things they linger on that they maybe they're trying to misdirect you in a way to maybe lead you down a different path, but they still have like some reason to be there. I mean, it's hard to say their motives, but the shots in this, they're just great. Like we were talking about it when we were watching, but the mood and the atmosphere and the colors, everything just hits. Like this looks like it could be a set. To me, this looks like a set.
Yeah, I was wondering as we're looking at this. I'm like, is this a set or
Where's
not?
this light? That's not the light of a moon. Like that's a stage light. That has to
Yeah, I mean, whether it's actual exterior or a set, they definitely like lit this, but it's hard to tell, honestly.
be.
The ground looks too natural for this to be a set.
It does.
I don't know. Eric's kind of trying to weigh in. Yeah, so the moment that made us really think of like, gosh, how cozy with the atmosphere and music and everything was at the beginning when Dale and Audrey are sitting down for breakfast, because the lighting coming in from the windows, the wood paneling, and her red blouse is such a nice color, and it just comes and like
Oh no!
his bright shiny blue eyes, it all's just like so nice.
Oh no!
Big fish.
Oh,
Oh, you were right there, buddy.
Oh my god.
We got him. Okay.
no, I'm here.
You probably missed the last maybe 20 minutes of that episode, Bradshaw.
Yeah, probably.
What did you connect with as far as like the atmosphere of the episode? I know, like, do you remember the last thing you saw? Did you see
Nope.
any of this?
I remember.
Just let's keep scrolling the episode until he says, "I don't remember."
I'll just start it. I'll start it here. You saw poor Albert get punched in the face, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, this is the aftermath of that, and then basically this was just like we were saying, the going to the funeral episode.
Yes.
I
remember that now.
A lot of
I think the last thing I remember is when they're screaming at the funeral.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're dead, man. You're dead. You're dead, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other like interesting tidbits about this. Like, I really enjoy the Major Briggs character.
Gosh, yes, absolutely. Major Garland Briggs.
He
Mm-hmm.
he always shows up to like be the
Or no, it's just Garland, I
he
think.
he's like trying to portray, or at least I think they were trying to like misdirect you again with like the archetype of like a military parent, like a military dad,
Right.
you know, that shows up and he's trying to be a stern, angry dad to his son. But he's more pleasant, and he's just like being really like down to earth with his son, and just very like trying to reassure him about things, and not be so angry all the time, because this dude is like, he's decorated, he's a decorated
Yeah, he's a major. I don't know, like of what grade or what what rank really of major, but he's a major, and the way that he speaks, he is so verbose and so eloquent. But everything that he's saying is just like he said, like he's just trying to express to his son, like, "Hey, I'm here for you." And there are certain times where he steps in and is like, "Hey, Bobby, you're being a little bit of a shit here."
but I think it takes quite a bit. But like, the contrast between his personality and Bobby's personality is so crazy. And you gotta like the fact that a couple 20 years down the line, he becomes policeman, and he works at Twin Peaks, kind of like following
Yeah.
in his father's footsteps, like being a good citizen, and just
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously talk more about that like when we get there, but I really did enjoy that being his arc for the return and
Same.
his involvement and everything in there.
Yeah, I think it fleshed him out more, and he was like kind of like a glow up for the character, because right
Oh,
now he's just a
absolutely.
bastard at the beginning of the
Well,
show.
yeah, I mean, even throughout the whole series, what is he doing? He's sleeping with Shelly every opportunity he can get. He's dealing in drugs. He's like barking at poor James in jail.
Yep.
He's like drinking and driving with Mike. He's just, yeah, he's not a great apple,
But there's some redemption in him, and that's kind of great.
but that's like we were saying before. Like I think it was maybe before we were recording and we were talking about Jacoby, because we were in the graveyard scene. We were talking about his quirky and fun but weird outfit, where he said he looks like a weird Van Helsing.
But yeah, he does. Like, Bradshaw, I want you to see. Look at this dude. Doesn't he look like he's showing up to kill Dracula?
Oh yeah, then.
I already, I already dug up his coffin.
Look at that guy.
Yep.
But we were talking about Jacoby and how, like this scene communicates it too. He's a weird guy, and there are aspects to him that we probably collectively all don't like his attraction to Laura, some of his attitudes maybe towards, like, I don't know, his patients or women or whatever. But then there are moments where we see him with Johnny, and he's offering like sincere comfort to this person who's troubled, or here where he's having a genuine moment to mourn somebody that, yeah, I mean, it was inappropriate for him to be.
He's like, oh, I forgot. This isn't Dracula. I was on my way to go
I'm not allowed to
stab.
fool.
There's so many people, because even like Hank Jennings, they do a little bit to offer
Oh, Jane
some
Penny.
not redemption maybe, but like alternatives to their outwardly negative personality traits that we can appreciate still and sympathize with.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's and they don't do it for everybody. I feel.
No, they choose who they want to feature, as far as like maybe
That's a good mic face right there.
I know,
Oh my
leading
gosh.
leading you down the wrong path. Like, make sure you're aware of this man and maybe his motives. Like, just people are still on the fence about certain characters. Like, the showrunners knew what characters they wanted to like maybe lead people to think, which is kind of crazy, because like there every time you see freaking Leland, he's just such a bumbling weirdo, and he's just in mourning every time. But it's like, in context, in hindsight, when further down the series, you're just like, oh my god, all these situations, it makes sense why he's acting the way he is. Like, he's very conflicted, and he's very just yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of see it too as like he is mourning because he's lost his victim.
Yeah.
He's like lost the thing that he was expressing all this messed up stuff, you know.
Right.
right.
I think
That's a
you can
great pause.
I think you can find a good smear frame of maybe like Bobby screaming in this funeral for a
Oh, look at that! Look at the creature in the back.
in the background.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm here too.
Hello.
Wow.
He's so timid back there. We stuck in the lens in the middle of this crowd scene.
I see you. I brought my
Do you see-
baguette.
Do you see me? Butter and brie.
This is the accidental renaissance right here. So yeah, that was episode 4. Technically 3. What is that? Like, if you're not counting the pilot, I guess.
No, the pilot was episode 1, and then we had episode 2, and then 3. And
I know, but when I've searched like Twin Peaks season 1 episode 4, sometimes it's the man with one arm, like that pops up. So I don't know. A lot of people have difference of cataloging these.
I would, yeah.
But yes, this one technically is. Oh, Jesus, dude. Season 1. Are you what soul are we speaking
I'm
with?
awake.
Right?
I'm awake right now.
Yeah, you're. What was it? What did he
Is this
say?
your dream soul we're
Your
talking to?
dream soul.
Yeah, dude, it's my dream soul, 100%.
I was entering the land of the dead.
We're in Broadshow
Just like Hawk
Slumberland,
said.
just like Hawk said.
Yeah.
Look at Ben Horn back there. He wants you to see him.
Look at me. I will invade your dreams tonight.
Horny boy in the back, sitting in the back.
Thank you for joining us on this dive into Twin Peaks. Rest in pain. Rip. We'll be back with episode 5 in the future. Hopefully we have plans to do some fun things with more Twin Peaks related media, not just diving into the episodes, but as you probably have seen, it hasn't released at this moment of us recording this, but it probably will be by the time this video goes up, that we did a product placement kind of tie-in with Cooper.
Product placement?
Well, it's like, what if, they sold their product, and what product they would sell.
No, Tyler, he knows, okay?
I know.
He knows.
Dude, I know.
He's awake.
Hey, Tyler, I know.
I know you know, and you are very awake. I am not speaking with a soul.
Now we're talking to the waking soul, yeah.
Are you the waking soul?
It's the wakingest of souls, dude.
But for the people
You've
out
never
there,
heard a more awake soul.
For the audience out there, we plan on doing more of those product kind of ideas, and maybe some special tie-ins with Twin Peaks cross Goosebumps, because we discussed that recently, and I think it would be a very fun time.
Goose Peaks.
I just like
So
the idea
Goosebumps.
of playing with AI and see what we can come up with.
And what it comes up with when you cross those two strange mediums,
Yep.
We got a strange
maybe
book.
We'll think of a few other things to cross with Goosebumps while we're at it.
Yeah. Maybe Skyscraper with Anna Nicole Smith.
Dude, Sky Bumps?
Sky Bumps. Wait, those are boobs?
Or Sky Peaks?
Sky Peaks.
Yeah, Skyscraper and Twin Peaks. And then we got Goose Peaks.
Oh, I didn't understand what you...
Yeah. I'm combining names, dude. I told you, I'm the most wakingest soul ever right now.
Apparently.
Wait, this seems like a dream soul, though. It's an idea that
dude,
dream
it's
soul
all a
would
dream
have.
soul.
Dream souls have these ideas.
Yeah.
All I know, Tyler, is that boy is in the danger position.
Oh yeah,
I am, dude.
I
had
him.
hubris. I had hubris before this started. He was just like, "Don't get in the danger position," and I was just like, "Hey, dude, I'm really awake right now. I will be fine." And I'm sitting here watching, and the battery on my phone was like all the way up, and I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna chill now." And fucking the hubris got me, dude. I was chilling, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, boom, gone. Out.
Well, see, I thought I was being a clever funny boy by trying to spoof on a direct quote from Hawk from this episode. But I don't know
Well,
if
you know what? I wasn't awake for it. I was not awake for it. I was so you got me double. You got me double, friend.
Made your daddy proud.
Made your daddy proud. Wow.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back with more Twin Peaks. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Fun packs. Bye.